Well, all right, y'all. All across the USC, Compton, Watts, Bay to LA, Pomona, California, from valley to valley, we represent that killer Cali. So if you keeping it real on your side of your town, you tune in to Gangsta Chronicles. Ew.
Gangsta Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. Ew.
Gangsta Chronicles, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steel.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the James.
We'd like to welcome everyone to another episode of the Gangsta Chronicles podcast, and I have my homeboys.
The J.
Jeff. Y'all know what it is already, man. Tonight, man, we have some special individuals, man, coming from the Fort Worth area, man. We have Mr. Jesse Taylor, man, politician, man, for Tarrant County, man, of Fort Worth, Texas, man, pretty much running the show down there. And we have our homeboy, the man around town, the mouth of the South, Charleston Blue. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Definitely.
Oh, man.
Right.
It's a lot of stuff going on, man. You see they going crazy over at the White House right now, man. It's a lot of different stuff going on, man, but we go try to keep it a little bit more localized as far as what's going on right now in this present state of time. As we always talk about, the Fort Worth, Dallas area has a huge gang problem down there. And I know you guys are pretty much have the keys to the city and help a lot of different people in different situations.
Yeah.
Try to. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, we actually started with the juvenile system, man. From the juvenile system, we kind of transcended into the adult prison system, man, where I would teach classes at the Central Parole Office, the main parole office in Tarrant County. So every brother, at least from 2015 to 2016, whenever they got out of prison, it was mandatory that they would have to come to my class every Tuesday and Thursday. Me and Mr. Taylor would go inside the juvenile system, man, and connect with the young killers on the inside. So when they get released, whether they go to prison or not, we done already made the connection on the inside. So when they transition back to the reentry part of coming back into our society, we're there to able to provide alternatives and resources, man, when they make the transition from lockup to back to free world.
Okay. So pretty much you the bridge for those guys.
We try to be, man, for Black children, right? Not that we don't work with all children, but there's not a lot of resources for our children when they come back to our communities. There's a lot of resources for the adults, but man, they don't have the support system to be able to access the resources, right? The bus fare money, the gas money, the comfort of being able to sleep somewhere peacefully without the stress of having to go out and take penitentiary chances just to bring some money in to feed the family, man. So we try to help connect the adults as well as the juveniles to the resources in the communities from the connection that we have. So he got into the politic game, man. So he worked more as a national delegate. He sit down more with your U.S. congressman, your state congressman. He's been in close proximity with the president for the last 4 years, man, actually dealing and working directly with President Trump, man, to get certain laws abolished and passed in this country.
Oh, wow. So you guys are pretty much a bridge just from the youth so they could transition out.
Yes, sir. And Charleston, he's being modest though, man, but Charleston created programs that we actually taught inside the halfway houses for these kids. He had like an 8-week course that he would actually go inside, man, and try to transform these young guys, man. So I tip my hat off to him though, man, for him to go inside and create programs to help these young kids out, man. I couldn't do nothing but jump on board and try to help them out with that, man. But during that process of him creating the program, man, he at the end of this course, this curriculum, we're supposed to be teaching showing a movie, Minister Society, and the white folks wouldn't let us play the movie, and Miss Charleston got mad because it was approved by the state. So I asked them, I said, well, what we got to do to be able to show this movie? They said, well, you got to change the policy. But shit, how we change the policy? This time I wasn't into politics at all. But they were like, you got to change the policies. So I figured out what I had to do to go change the policies. And you had to mess with politicians to change the policies. So it went from showing a movie to me being able to be elected, from being a precinct chair to being a state delegate to being elected on the Texas State Permanent Legislative Board member. And also, I was nominated as a national delegate this year. Is like what's going on with the Electoral College votes. Well, one of those paperwork's got my signature on it and Mr. Charleston paperwork on it also. So all that went from just trying to show a movie to where we are today.
Oh, wow. So you guys just became the change that you wanted to see.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And to bridge that gap, because like I said, I'm a politician, but I'm a politician in the Republican Party. Now, and that's another thing I can kind of give piggyback with Mr. Charleston on. He forced me to do my homework on politicians, because I was a straight up Democrat, just like pretty much everybody else was. You know, you couldn't say nothing to me about no Republican at all. But once I started doing my homework and my research, and I seen the way the nation was headed, you know, where the Democrats was headed, you know, towards that, you know, masculinity of young men, young black men. I was like, well, that's not what I was brought up to be. And so I switched, man. I switched. And from that point on, you know, I've been doing my thing, you know, trying to change laws. They had one law here in Texas, man, called House Bill 487. This House Bill right here was, man, it had many guys with their driver license revoked. They was taxing us twice on a traffic ticket. But, man, I was able to go in, man. We found out where the money was going. It wasn't going back to our community at all, man. And with me sitting on the resolution committee, we was able to write up a bill, House Bill 487, like I said, man, and it got passed. And so everybody got all those surcharges wiped off.
So now niggas don't go to jail for driving on suspended license. No. Niggas used to immediately go to jail for driving on suspended license because he got that bill passed through legislation through the state. Man, niggas can drive illegally again with a look comfort on his ass. Yeah.
That's it. and
damn, that's good.
Man, and what we do, man, I'm not doing it for myself, man. I do it for the youngsters to see what we're doing. So that way, you know, they can have some guidance along the way, because we got to show them early what we learned late in life, man. I ain't know nothing about no politics. So I'm feeding all this to these young men what we're doing right now.
And so with this legislative session coming up, man, surprisingly, the Texas Republican parties, or the Republican Party of Texas, they pushing forth the bill where they trying to stop niggas from going to jail on child support.
Yeah.
So
I'll be pushing that.
He's gonna be pushing that bill. Not only that, man, we partner with local lobbyists and other policymakers to try to get a bill that we're trying to push through that's called Raise the Age, where 17-year-olds don't go to the penitentiary in the county jails no more. So we're trying to raise the age of juvenile jurisdiction, man, back up to 21, where even if a 19-year-old nigga do something that's not too extreme and violent and violence, that he can still remain in the juvenile. Remain in the juvenile system, which is family court, man, and have a second chance at getting his record expunged at 21, man. So a lot of the shit that they see a nigga doing on Facebook, man, that's the Dolomite game, you know, the acting, you know, to make motherfuckers say, hey, man, look at this. But if a nigga can get past the act and really look at what I'm saying, and then look at what a nigga really do in real life, they'll see, man, nigga, this for our people, homie.
Exactly, and that's a perfect segue into something that I wanted to discuss today. These young guys going to the penitentiary system, they go into the penitentiary system, they 17 years old, they babies, they literally just got out of diapers, kind of, you know.
Younger than that.
Younger than that?
Yeah, younger than that.
Yeah, man, most people don't know, man, up until 2016, the United States, along with Sudan and North Korea, was three of the only countries who would take a 12-year-old child, man, and sentence them to what they call juvenile life, JLWOP, juvenile life without parole, right? So, man, in Texas, a 14-year-old go to prison. In California, not California, in Florida, nigga, 12-year-old can be on the rec yard, nigga, in Florida. And I don't want to say no names because some things happened to this young individual while in prison for a very, very historical juvenile murder, right? Him and his sister. But he was brutally raped in prison, man, as a baby. He was brutally raped. So, you know, a lot of the time, man, I look niggas as hard as 17 and 18, but they 17, 18 hardened little street nigga don't compare, man, to a 28-year-old hardened prisoner. So our 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds, they might not go with the 40, 50-year-old niggas, but they go with the older 27, 26-year-old prisoners, and they just as dangerous than anybody else. Yeah. So that's what they put our kids amongst, the most dangerous population of prisoners, and then expect for them to go in at such a young age and do right in order to make parole. Man, the first thing a kid got to do in prison is try to survive. He can't try to rehabilitate. He can't even go into rehabilitate mode. He got to try to survive. Learn the rules.
Well, for one thing, most people that send you to prison ain't never been to prison, and they don't know or live the conditions of an inmate, so they have no clue of what it's about. I've been to prison. I've seen cats get raped in prison. I'm talking about hardcore gang members get raped in prison. So anybody is subject to be raped. I mean, just the rules and the guidelines of prison is enough for especially a 12-year-old that don't have the mind or the capacity of an adult to really survive. Don't know how to make that change.
Let me ask you this, big homie. So what, as a youth developer, as someone who go off inside the juvenile detention center, what do we tell the youth workers? What do we tell the parents? How do you prepare a kid who don't belong in this environment? How do you prepare him for that?
Well, you can't prepare him for that, because once he hear that door close, now this is real life. Now he's on survival mode. You can't prepare him for that. A 12-year-old cannot go to a penitentiary and survive. I'm talking about without being raped, without being beaten, without being, getting his commissary took in. He's subject to be somebody bitch. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad to say. So what I'm saying is that people that haven't been to prison don't mind sending you to prison, only because they don't got to go to prison and deal with the conditions or the inmates that's in prison. And why are we in prison? Because you got some murderers, some guys that's raped, drug dealers. You got all different type of men in prison. So what you doing today, which is something I want to do, is get them before they get to that point. And we don't have to discuss a 12-year-old going to prison. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
What you just said in the justice system, in public safety, law enforcement, public safety, right? What you just said, I want to prevent them. So they have crime prevention and crime intervention programs. So that's where the money comes in. That's where the money comes into play. When you look at California's LA Police Department, they almost got $1 billion budget. They almost got $1 billion budget. That's money that you give to a military, right? That's what you give to a military. So they got $1 billion budget. And out of that $1 billion is given to them under public safety, crime prevention, and crime intervention. Half of that money is ours, but we don't know that. For one, we don't want to even fuck with the police to go get the money. That money falls through under their umbrella and supposed to trickle down to our programs. Our Father to Fathers program is supposed to have $100 million out of that budget. When you look at the prison statistics, almost 85% of prisoners convicted of a crime come from a fatherless home. Those are national statistics.
Wow.
When we go out and speak to kids, man, at these facilities, I don't care if it's 1,000 kids out there we speaking to, 100 or 10, man. It's always going to be the same percentage of when I ask this question, how many of you got your fathers at home? It's going to be one or two of them raise their hand, and pretty much everybody else ain't got no doggone father at home, man. So what he's saying is on the money.
That's the beginning of it right there. And we haven't created a system to where we can go inside of a single parent home and help that woman with a kid.
Yeah,
we don't do that.
But exactly. But one thing I need my sisters to do, though, man, and I appreciate them to death, though, because they be doing the best they can do. But one thing they need to stop saying is they mother and daddy, they mama and they daddy. They can't be mama and daddy. Because what happens in some of these correctional facilities, man, I see it over and over and time again. When these kids come out and they go into the halfway house, and they waiting on their mamas or their daddies or their grandmamas or somebody to pick them up from there. They're holding there for like 5-6 months. But what happens is, man, they stay there for almost a year or so because why? Mama don't even want them no more, man. That's
Right.
the same mama that done said, hey, look here, I'm mama, I'm daddy. I'm mama, I'm daddy. No, you ain't daddy. You're not daddy. You're mother.
Yeah.
You know, you need people like Charles. You need people like myself, you know, to step in. You know, like you said, that program to go inside the house of that single parent mother, that's definitely what we need, man. And actually, we do some of that also, man, right now. So you on the money on that, man.
Right.
Yeah.
That's our beginning as black men to figure out a way how to get to our younger brothers. Because truth be told, sometimes you can't get across to that 25, 30-year-old brother because he already set in his ways and he's saying, fuck what y'all talking about. They think they know more than you do, which they don't. They don't know jack shit until the day they wind up in prison. And then they say this, just like I said, if I know what I know now, I would have never took that road. Mm-hmm. But let's get them before they can get to say that.
That's the whole key. Get them way before then. So, you gotta get these babies now. You gotta go down and get them.
You can show niggas. You can give niggas a lot of examples and shit, just like we was as youngsters. We had the mentality that you can't tell me nothing. That's the whole problem.
Right.
A lot of youngsters got the mentality that you can't tell me nothing. So all that shit you talking is good, and yeah, I hear you, and it worked for you, but nigga, I'm still on the block every fucking day, and I'm still this and I'm still that. So that shit don't apply to me. And that's what the problem that we have is that a lot of young niggas don't want to listen to nothing that older or other niggas have been through. They just don't want to listen. So how do you change that? So how do you change that mentality from a dude you trying to get to change the ways, and he deep off in it, and he telling you, I don't want to hear nothing you saying.
You show the nigga how to eat. You show that nigga how to fish. You show that nigga how to fish.
Let me tell you, this is where we make mistakes at. To even get to that point, first we got to stop calling the way we talk to each other. Cats want to hear that type of talk. Yeah, what's up, nigga? What's up? We got to start respecting ourselves as black men. Once we start respecting ourselves and they see us with respect and carrying respect to the fullest, then they already know. They're going to come at you with straight respect because they see you ain't giving nothing but respect. We talk shit to each other and we talk bad about each other. I got the words for it. I was listening to A, but it starts off with respect. We got to respect and understand each other as black men. I'm not finna keep blaming what my father did to me. I'm not gonna let that be an excuse for me not to get to the next level. And we got to understand that because there's a lot of us that grew up in a house without a father. And they got to understand you can make it without a father. As long as you got positive black men in your life, you can make it. And this is through the program. You don't have to have that father figure in the household to do that. And if we can reach the young kids and let them understand that and teach them that it's a better way to dress. It's a better way to, to groom yourself. You know what I'm saying? Fathers your hair and all of that other stuff. We have to really put our foot in it to get them to understand because the younger generation today don't want to hear nothing. They want to see, they want to feel, they want to really know that I care. And just talking on the phone or just coming at them in a certain kind of way, you got to really be in their life.
You said the thing right there. They know you care.
That's a program. Yeah, you got to let them know.
And I think for the most part, man, I don't think our young people think the older people really care. Whether that's in the home, whether that's when they go to church, the preacher don't never have a message for the children. It's always for the adults. They really don't even have a voice other than what the hip hop platform gives them. So as I'm sitting here listening to you talk, man, do our young people really know if we care or not?
They don't.
I don't think they do.
They don't. Reinsurance. That's what we want when we got our mama and our fathers in the household. We know they're there to protect us. That's reinsurance. But if I can get a brother on the street that come in this house with an absent father, and this man can come and come pick me up and show me how to fish, show me how to hunt, and he genuinely care about me, not just dropping me off because of a check or picking me up and doing this for a check. No, I got you. You know what I'm saying? That's all they want to hear is I got you.
Well, that's what the big homie give you, that father's affirmation. That's what the big homie give you.
And them boys looking for it. Them boys, they'll gravitate to it. They'll gravitate to it, man. They really will. If you show them that love like you're talking about, man, they'll gravitate to it, man. They really do.
Right.
Me and Mr. Charleston
ran every time.
Camp this. Me and Mr. Charleston ran a summer camp, man, around about 3 or 4 years ago, man. Man, a guy gave his club up for us, man, to tell you the truth. So we during the summertime, man, we closed the whole club down, man, and we had the kids coming over during the daytime, man, feeding the kids breakfast, lunch, and halftime. They took the food home for dinner to feed the families and everything, though, man. But what I did was when we showed them, man, we just showed them boys love, man. And then all these boys was across the street at the projects. I mean, the projects are directly across the street, so they just walked over to the club and had their summer camp with us. But, man, that love that we showed them, man, that fatherly love. And sometimes it had to be that tough love. But they respected it, though, man. You know, and once you show them that you love them and you care for them and you show them how to eat, you show them how to, because I would take the kids to the house, man. I would show them how to change brakes, how to change starters on cars. Now, I mean, these are 12, 13-year-old boys, man, and they gravitated to it. But you just got to show them that you love them, though, man, and they'll listen to you.
You're right. And I was just going to touch on that. I've been thinking and wanting to do this for a long time. Just get a lot and get some of the guys that I know that's certified in brakes and all of that, and have the kids come buy brakes for their mom's car or whatever.
There you go.
And let them help fix those brakes. Let them learn how to change a battery. Do anything. You know, I got friends that's brake masons. Anything just to get them, let them learn something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So. And it goes a long way. And man, I commend what y'all doing. And I wish we had that out here like that, where we can just actually get into the politics. Big Norm been telling me to.
Well, we bragging it to you. We bragging it to you, homie. What we're doing, it's like we're gonna barter, right? It's a lot of resources that we offer to guys in California, homie. Texas is a felony-friendly state. So we trying to create an underground railroad where we got jobs niggas in California can't get down here, homie. So, hey, man, y'all niggas ain't got nothing to do, man. Say we got some niggas that'll hire y'all down here with them murder cases. Nigga, General Motors, Bell Helicopter, Lockheed Martin. Say, man, these people hire killers. Man, you niggas come down here and get a job, and we'll help assist y'all while y'all get along the way. Same with y'all got some gang programs, some gang intervention and gang prevention program that can benefit here. And you guys can come down here and facilitate those programs and get money from us, from our county officials to come facilitate those programs. So we're trying to open up a underground railroad of exchange of resources, man, for the community. So the program that you're asking for is being created through the Fathers program, which is coming to California, by way of Uncle Henny, man. So we just trying to get all the statistics, the numbers, get the data, and get the research. So when we present it, man, we got all our I's dotted and the T's crossed.
Oh, are we breaking some news right now, Charles?
Yeah. We breaking some news, man.
News.
Uncle Henny nodded, man. So we got the Fathers program, man. It's coming to California. Yeah.
You know, and that's going to be, through Uncle Hen, that Fathers to Fathers program is going to be, facilitated through James, myself, and 8. Because, 3 figures, 8 is very active in the community. He don't brag on it a lot. He's, out there messing with the youth. He's at ground zero with the youth. He chooses to coach football. He chooses to do football. Through football, very passionate about it. And it's something that I'm looking forward to. And I know James alluded to earlier, he's looking forward to doing stuff like that because we have to become proactive as Black men in our community. And we have to stop waiting all the time for that come and help me, because I kind of feel the same way my man that was speaking earlier was about the Democratic Party. That party teaches us to be codependent on people, to sit up and just wait, to sit up and, wait on the welfare check or some kind of check every month. We're waiting for somebody to come and help us, but the only people that can help us is us.